Good morning, everybody. So yesterday was KAP session 44. It's been a while since I've done a KAP session, about a month. But yesterday was so lovely. I went with my friend and we arrived early. And I really didn't plan to go. It felt like a calling. It's like I need to be there. I feel like somehow I need to be there. Yeah. So we arrived. It was quite empty at first, and we talked with the facilitator about our own process where we were. It's really nice to connect with her and to to get some reflection. Like for me, for instance, I've been having like these well hang-ups coming up because lately, whenever an unconscious pattern or behavior or reaction in me came out, and I would see that was still in me, there was a sense of guilt. There was a sense of, like, I wish I didn't have to embody that. I wish I didn't have to go through that. Because, for instance, I've been on the path or involved in consciousness work since 2017, 18. And like lately when I had like this unconscious moment and there was a reaction and it was geared towards somebody who was close to me, like all of a sudden I felt so sad like after it was done, because I realized like I don't want to embody that kind of negativity. It's like, and there's a fear wanting to isolate myself, not wanting to be with people so that I don't hurt them, because I really don't want to hurt people. I don't want to cause them any pain, conscious or unconscious. And so it's like a thing that I have to really like delve into and process, because in a way I then feel responsible for why didn't I deal with it earlier? Why did it take me so long? Why did this person have to suffer my own unconsciousness? And like lately a lot of sadness and crying about that, and also like delving into what's causing these unconscious patterns. So, and it's mostly fear of death, like being threatened with almost like the equation to dying or losing freedom. And that's when the real unconscious fear in you that wants to protect itself or protect you comes out. So we talked about it, and you know what's funny? She said to me, but what if you were actually gifting that person that moment? What if, because do you understand that sometimes in the most extreme moments, in the most painful moments, we are given an opportunity to grow. We can learn from the pain, we can grow from the pain, we can, like, I'm paraphrasing now, but that's how I understood it, right? And when she said that, I understood what she was saying. She's like, imagine if we just all go outside, right, downstairs, and we agree, like, so, I'm gonna do this to you, you're gonna do this to me, I'm gonna do this to you, and then it's like souls, right, agreeing to have certain experiences together, and then in life you have certain experiences together to nudge each other into a certain direction. And it makes sense. It makes sense. It's like, of course I understand that. Of course I understand the value of agreeing with somebody to have a certain kind of shift of consciousness or a shift of awareness or perception. But for me, honestly, I've been through it for so many years now, like 4 or 5 years, especially when I was like really like close with my partner. And it's like I saw it. There was so much love and kindness and da da da. And then all of a sudden, all the unconsciousness comes out, and like you see that you are being used, or the way you are is waking up the person to be more responsible, to depend more on themselves, to not be attached, to yeah, it's like through disappointing them, they get disillusioned and they become more and more clear about reality. And it's nice, but honestly, for me, like seeing a person who I love and then expressing something and then seeing the effect that it has on them, this, I feel like I don't want to hurt that person. I don't want any harm to come to that person. And especially not for me. I don't want to feel like I've done that, even though I don't feel like I've done it. It's like I don't want to feel like it's come through me. Because I also understand, if you are in a vibration of love, if you are in alignment, then basically you can just hold space in love. And I've had those periods where I was in such a high frequency of love that I was just being there as love. And no matter how I was treated, how I was threatened, or whatever reaction was thrown at me, I was just stay in the softness and in this love. And you know what? Somehow, because you would not react to the person, it's as if the love would transform whatever was being thrown in it, and it would like shift, so the person would start to reflect upon themselves, seeing that you are not reacting, and all of a sudden they would like realize, and they would self-reflect, and they would feel, because they wouldn't be in constant action reaction. They would just see and realize, what am I doing? And then they would feel their feelings and then start to express their feelings. And there would be a kind of revelation or deepening into, like, there would be space for them to, let's say, open themselves up. So, yeah, that thing, I know that's possible. And that's what I would rather have than me being triggered and then and then and then having some fear act out. So that's why I felt like so sad and guilty. Well, not guilty, but sad about it. There was like, I wish it didn't have to. But I understood it, and it was very, very nice. And she was like, maybe go sit somewhere, go by yourself, and just close your eyes and ask, dear higher self, please appear to me. And then ask your higher self advice, guidance. Because your higher self, having lived through everything, or your future self, she actually said your future self. So invoke your future self. So close your eyes. Dear future self, please come to me. I need your help. And then you imagine as if you see the future self coming to you, and you have a conversation. And what you see, like she also said it, it's like that future self has lived through everything. So there's more softness, there's more understanding, there's more experience or wisdom to like relate. Like, it's okay. It's okay. You're gonna get through this. And there's a different perspective. So she invited me to do that kind of reflection or meditation. So I'm gonna do that. Anyway, the session was about to start, and there were about 16 people. Super hot yesterday, but thank God inside it wasn't. So yeah, she used different music this time. So I've been to this facilitator many a times, and she used a bit different music. Once the session started, like so funny, she was doing a demo, so she likes to do demos. And my friend who it was his 8, 9, 10 session. I don't even keep count of it anymore. It was one of his sessions. And he was so activated. And I remember just in March, April, he was not moving. He was just, and now he was just like in this state where As soon as she started to work on him, his body would start to, sound would come out, movements. And I was like, holy, like, to see that in a couple of 2-3 months, just amazing, very inspirational. So then she activated a couple of different people, and one person didn't move at all, doing all kinds of things, activating, or, you know, the process was going on, but the person wasn't moving at all. It was like, okay, this could also happen. So it was nice to see actually the contrast. So I felt really like, I don't know, like fragile, or like really like tired. So I was wondering, oh my God, is she gonna come to me? Is she gonna come to me? There was this one woman, when she activated her, like she like got up doing things and running around in the room. She's so active, so yeah, free in her expression, I guess. And it was funny to see those contrasts. And then she activated someone else, and then the demo only lasts one song, and then the demo stopped. So once the demo stopped, it's like, okay, lay down. So after the demo, you feel the energy is like electric in the room. It's like, and then the music started, and immediately, like something in my third eye, like the pressure, and I just feel like, okay, I'm in a different state. Like my body is just like moving. So energy moving through my hands, a lot of mudras, a lot of chanting and sounds, certain frequency. It's so interesting to, like, if your voice or your throat is like has a width band, you know, of like the frequencies. It's so funny. You just witness how it's like, oh, it's at this frequency now, and it's like this and this, and it goes by itself. It's so funny. A lot of light language coming through. So much, like, but this time, like, different from previous times. This time it was so clear. It was like just words coming through, and sometimes I would see like codes or information, and I would then see it, like I would open my eyes and I would see it going to certain people, or it would be like directed or guided to certain people. That was what my perception was. I don't know if it was really happening or not, but so much light language coming through. Very interesting. This whole session for me, I felt so transparent. So usually I'm feeling like, okay, I'm a person having this experience. But now it's like, I was so transparent. It's like I'm a piece of the whole space, and there's just things happening here. This is a very new feeling for me. So everything was just happening, but it didn't feel like, it felt like, yeah, there was just this transparent feeling. So a lot of chanting, and then a voice or a knowing came that said, surrender your life to God. Surrender your life to God. Or, yeah, it was something like that, because I realized for the last couple of months, weeks, I've been trying to do it on my own. But I don't really fully surrender to the flow, because there's a fear of letting go of control, of something happening. Something happening is to have some kind of, I will talk about it later, but there's a fear from something that happened earlier that it may reoccur again. And that fear is like constantly activated when there's like uncertainty. So yeah, that knowing came like, surrender your life to God. And it's funny because a couple of times now during my breath work in the morning, after I finish my breath work, there's just this knowing that comes, give yourself to the light. Give yourself to the light. So the facilitator was coming around, and sometimes I opened my eyes, I peeked, because everything was just so happening, so spontaneously. Like I stood up, was dancing, and there was a lot of like flowing movement, like going in one flow to the other, to the other. It was just unfolding. It was really beautiful. And at a certain point, I felt like I saw angels appear, like a couple, and I would just see them in the room. And yeah, just to feel that presence. At a certain point, I would start to see my hands like light up with light, and I would also see like I had almost like wings, and I would just feel like this devotion, and just stay in that feeling of devotion. There was this feeling of eternity, of completeness, of like, I don't know, it's like you have a marble statue that's just perfect and it's full and complete, and there's nothing that you can, yeah, it's just there. It was that kind of feeling was just there, and I would see how all of a sudden my heart went up, and I would feel the hearts of all the other people. So it's like, you see me now. It's like with my eyes closed, I could sense where everybody was, or almost feel like, sense like, and I would feel where their heart center was, and I would feel it. And I would feel the connection to everybody. So, so at home, so at home. And then light beings appeared, like 2 or 3 light beings appeared, and they were like reaching into me, like taking some things out, and it felt, honestly, it felt like you're being put apart. It felt like something is like leaving you. It felt yeah, really humbling, because you understand, like, oh, just surrender. So yeah, I just fell down, laid down, and I just like, things were like being pulled apart from me. And then I was sitting, and I was just like making a lot of flute sounds, making a lot of light language, and just sitting. And all of a sudden, the facilitator, she came behind me, and instead of doing things with me, she just sat back to back with me. And as soon as her back touched me and her head leaned on my head and we sat like this, I felt like this huge influx of energy going through my back, through my butt, through my, like in me, like, it's like she had all this energy, and when we were sitting, it was just like, there was complete like merger, or like it became like one whole, and it was like, oh my God, like I felt so much energy just coming in through all my layers, like every layer, like, whoa. And all of a sudden I started to feel how she was shaking, and I could shake it, and it was such a beautiful moment to witness the bodies connect in that way, because her head was just leaning, and there was a full, it felt, I don't know if this is the case, but it felt like there was a complete letting go. It was just like complete leaning on each other. Like there was such a trust in that moment. And her head was like this, and I could feel it, and I would just feel the energy come through. And she would start shaking, and I was like, I felt so blessed. And like touching each other that way, like being together like that, I felt so held, so embraced, so yeah, like I met on I don't know, a soul level. It's so beautiful. But maybe this is my projection, but I'm just describing my feelings. So then she went on, and I started to have like more activations, light language, like a lot of light language. And then I would start to see my life. And this was so interesting. So I could see it's either a fear from the subconscious or it was something from KAP. This is like something that's very difficult for me to distinguish. I could see that there was there was a situation in my life that had been dragging on for a while. So there's a person in my life that's still in my life, and for a long time it had to end, to to separate completely, to not be in each other's life, or to not be together anymore. And every time that there was a chance for it to end, to split apart, my nostalgia, my feeling of like, but maybe, but I love, and maybe all the good feelings, all the like, I don't want this to end, all that would latch on. Then after that, like after a couple of times, realize, okay, we just have to let go. Then there was the feeling of like guilt, like, oh, I wish I had done more. I wish I had been better. So there was the guilt, like I need to stay and to make something happen so that I don't feel guilty when it ends. And then in the KAP session yesterday, I saw it and I felt it. You have to let go of your wants. It's not about what you want in the situation. The situation has to flow. It has to be alive. The energies are now like being kept together. And I saw like a visualization. I saw like speaking to the person, or not speaking, but being with the person, and then helping them to leave, and then just like completely saying goodbye. I saw that, so I know that needs to happen. And then I saw myself get in a rental car and go to this woman that I knew, and I saw her, and I don't know whether she said it to me or I said it to her, but getting out of the car, I looked at her, and it was like, I've loved you from the first time that I met you. I've loved you from the first time that we met, or something like that. And there was such a profound beauty in it, and it felt so nice, so right. It was like, when you were in love with somebody, or there was like past lovers, or I don't know what, and all of a sudden there's this moment of coming together and just being together in complete harmony. It felt, maybe I'm projecting that, but it felt, yeah, what I saw was coming together, and that being said, I don't know whether she said it or I said it. That's what happened. All the other is projection, I guess. So after that, I started to dance really vibrant, really alive. And while dancing, the knowing came, you already are a facilitator. You already are a facilitator. Like it came a couple of times, like just like in this spaciousness, like it came like, you're already a facilitator. You're already a facilitator. So my eyes opened up and I felt the energy. I felt, it's like when you see my body, it's like, imagine that you're with your hand reaching out to me, and it's like almost like there's a feeling that your hand, so for instance, if I now point my hand towards the phone, it's as if there's a projection or a feeling that somehow I'm already touching the phone or interacting with the phone, even though I'm not touching it. So it's like I don't know the word for it, elongated, extended, or feeling through space. Or feeling through subtle energies, beyond the body, like, or connecting to, this is like new for me. to describe this. So I felt everybody's body. I felt like I opened my eyes and I was looking around and I felt the body, and there was the knowing I could just now facilitate. I can just go with people and do things and facilitate. But I was like, no, 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 no. I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. So close my eyes, and then the image kept coming. The facilitator is gonna come again. So I was sitting, and I felt this huge energy like come into me. Like there was this preparation, almost like I needed to do some activation or some kind of transmission. So I did this, and I saw her sitting next to me, and like I saw the images, the visualizations came that we needed to have some kind of interaction. So all of a sudden there's this energy going in my hand, and I feel it in my hand. It's like I'm holding invisible energy. I'm holding, like it's in my hand and it's ready. So then I'm just sitting, nothing's happening, just waiting with the energy. She comes, and I thought something was gonna happen, but she skipped me, and she was doing me and another person at the same time. So sitting there, like, okay. And then she just put her hand or her fingers on my knee like this. It's so funny. I was like, my mind was like, what? And then I felt like something in my body like shift, and it, like her touch became a little harder, and I was like, okay, like there's some kind of readjustment, and I was like, oh. So yeah, I guess there was no transmission or whatever. I told her afterwards. It's funny. And yeah, then I stood up, I moved, I danced, and like I saw the energy of like a white dragon or serpent or snake, but it was like a dragon-like. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it fully. It's beautiful and big, and it was like just flowing, dancing, and I felt how it was connected to me, and it was like guiding my hands. It was like flowing and moving, and I could feel how it was also like in the room. I could feel how this is my projection. This is like a feeling, but I'm unsure about it. There was this feeling that could like, this was like an energy that could be like, that was like guiding the flow of my process of KAP or whatever was happening. It felt like it was this stream that I was in. It's like, now I'm very like this, but if I step into this light where there's like a certain kind of frequency and energy, all of a sudden my body is animated differently because it's in this flow, dancing to the music and the energy and the atmosphere, because the energy is activating and using my body to create a certain dynamic or some kind of interactions or some kind of contact. This is so difficult to explain. It feels, when you're just attuned to that frequency, to that energy, the energy is just like available to, and you are available to the energy, and the energy is available to you, to be as one, and to allow the energy to do what's needed, to dance, to do the process, to flow with the process. So the only choice you have is flow with the process or not flow with the process. That's what it felt to me. Yeah. No, something, I missed something. Like I feel it. Yeah. Honestly, this is like a thing that I also remember from from one of my previous sessions. So in one of my previous sessions, I remember I had this image of like this white energy dragon, I don't know what to call it, appearing in the room. And sometimes when I do some kind of processes, like energy work or whatever, it's like my hands do this, I put my hands up, and make this sound, and it's like I'm calling on that energy to stream and to be available in this moment, in this process now. And yeah, I don't know if it's KAP, I don't know if it's something different, but this is what's coming on. And this time, yeah, it's what I saw. It was like I felt it, like saw the energy and just like dancing in my hands. And it was the feeling, like the possibility, like, oh, if I allow myself, or if there's the possibility, like I can allow the energy to guide me to work with people, to facilitate. But I didn't do it because, you know, I'm not in the facilitator role there. And then I saw like parts of my life light up. Man, something still feels off about it, what I just said. It's a part that I'm missing. What am I missing? Yeah, there's a lot of projection. There's a lot of, you know, these kind of things, like these inner experiences, they're very difficult to translate into like concrete, because whatever I'm saying, it's always limited, right? So, what do I need to say? Oh, I know. Whatever I'm saying is my own subjective experience. It's relative to me. So I can say things that are not necessarily true, and that can be, yeah, influenced by my own projection, by my own feelings, by my own way of grabbing on to giving context, giving meaning. So I can only say what I saw or felt. What I saw and felt was like there was the calling of the energy. There was the white, saw the white energy, and then I was dancing, and I felt like, yeah, I just felt it in my hands. Like as if the energy was embodying, and the hands were like tools that could be used. Yeah, that's enough said. So then what happened next was, I saw parts of my life, like going to Bali, meeting my friend Sophie. Yeah, I saw a couple of images, and I'm not sure whether it was like something that was real, or whether it was like unconscious fears or unconscious. But I saw a couple of situations. I don't want to say because she watches this. So embarrassing. So yeah, I saw that, and I saw also like what I could be in Bali, what I could do. I saw myself like having certain roles or doing certain things, being active in certain ways in the community. No, yeah, I just saw myself, or I saw the possibility of having certain roles. Yeah, being active in certain ways. Yeah, that's what I saw. And then, then I was in this hall, and I saw like it was this long hall, and it was like a feeling that there were like beings there. And I was going on my knees, and I was like, I need help. I can't do it alone. I need help. And I was like, it's so difficult for me. It's so hard for me. I was like, you know, witnessing myself, like expressing that. There was this feeling of like a victim, like feeling like a victim, feeling limited, asking for help. And it was a very interesting experience. It almost felt like, yeah, it just felt like I was in this room, in this hall, and there were just like these, I don't know what it was. I can speculate, but I don't know what it was. It felt like I was asking help to like some beings or light beings. I don't know. And it was also very vague what I saw, like the pictures of, or the images of the light beings. Not even sure, like sure that I felt it, and I could see the whole very clearly. So it was that, and I could feel that it's all about the mindset, that it's all this, it's just a feeling. In reality, like seeing it now, hearing it now even, like, huh, if the mindset is different, then you do whatever you can with whatever you have, wherever you are. If you think that you should do more, but it's not possible, then you have like this kind of mentality of like, oh, it's not working, I need help, I cannot do it, I'm struggling. Because it's like, I want so much, I want so much, so big, so it's like, no, start with the little steps. Start where you are. Do the little steps, step by step, step by step. The quote, the journey of 10,000 steps start with a single step. And yeah, if you want to do big things, focus on the small things. The big things will take care of themselves. So yeah, the session itself was so wonderful and beautiful. At some point, I saw my facilitator, and I saw her, like, I got this feeling, this sense. I saw like different layers of her aura or her energy. I saw like layers, and I would feel it. I would see her. And there was a recognition, like, I see you. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Throughout the session, I also sang like the mantra Yum, like heart, feeling the heart. And yeah, it's a beautiful session. It was really great. It was really great. It is changing though. It is changing. And today, this morning, I felt a huge call to do Bufo, so I wrote to a facilitator to do a Bufo session. So yeah, we'll see about doing that. He actually wrote me back right now. So so funny. Actually, the facilitator from Bufo just wrote me back right now, like a couple of seconds ago. So yeah, I guess I need to do that. There was a hesitation, a fear to do it, but yeah. Once the session was done, the KAP session, we sat in a circle, everybody shared. Very beautiful to share those kind of spaces, hear each other's experiences. Yeah, it's really, really wonderful to sense the sincerity of everybody being there. Like, yeah, you really went through that. You really felt that. You really, it feels like we're confronting our own process, or we're sincerely wanting to go into our own process. And there's a kind of appreciation for that, like, wow, everybody's here, like really, really in like, in the process. Some people just try first times, but it was nice. It's really nice. For me, the biggest, or not the biggest, but the thing that stood out was like, yeah, the stuck situation in my life, that like I saw the visualization. I know what needs to happen. So it needs to happen, and then energy can flow, energy can move. Also, at the beginning of the session, I saw, I had these images of like funeral. Somebody died. And I'm not sure whether it was me or for somebody else. But yeah. Beautiful, beautiful session. So yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna do a KAP session 45 with a level 2 facilitator. So that will be really exciting. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. I wish you all to enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. Good day.